Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the CodeX podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger, and joining me today, as usual, is my co-host, Tim Morris.
How is it going, ladies and gentlemen? It is good to be back.
As you notice, one of our co-hosts is not here today, Jamie Wilczyk. Now, there's a bit of rumors going on about him, some malicious rumors. Now, there's a rumor that he tried to eat a firework and blew part of his teeth out, but I don't know if that one's so true. Yeah, I'm not saying yes, it is or it isn't, but Tim, I think you know what was going on.
Now, the rumor I heard is that Jamie bit too hard on s'mores, more than likely the marshmallow bit, and chipped a tooth in the back. And now corrective surgery needs to be done, and a pair of pliers need to come in and yank it out of there.
Man, marshmallows will do that to you.
Got to be careful, ladies and gentlemen. Got to be careful. You never know.
Yeah, steaks will be fine. You know, marshmallows, though, very careful eating.
That's right. That's right. Slow down. Chew your food.
Well, Jamie, we wish you a speedy recovery, and hopefully you're back on the show soon so we could all hang out and have some fun together. But today is down to me and Tim, and we will be reviewing Deadpool, The Circle Chase.
Yeah, this guy right back here.
Yep, and that's right. And Tim, you said Jamie has sent you his grade and a little bit of his review on it. So we'll get to that later. As usual, we will have Do You Know? Me against Tim again. We will have some of our works talking about. CodeX has been up to a lot. As you can see, we got some CodeX merch. We got some comic book news that's been taken care of about the past. We'll be covering about the past few weeks. And our topic of the week is, why do you collect comics?
Yep. And as always, I will have the information from comic character of the day on that.
All right. Well, Tim, we'll start us off with the comic news, and unfortunately, it is some sad news that we have.
Yes. So we do have some sad news. Aside from the events that took place in Chicago over the weekend, or at the beginning of the week, should we say?
Highland Park.
Yeah, and Highland Park. And our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody that was affected in that senseless act of violence.
And cowardice too, yeah.
Exactly. But to take it back a little bit, let's stay out of that conversation and go into some comic book news. And unfortunately, it's not good news. So Tim Sale, you guys will know him as the artist of The Long Halloween, Superman for All Seasons, Spider-Man Blue, Captain America, Hulk Gray. I think Captain America was red, white, and blue, if I'm not mistaken. He has
Daredevil Yellow, right?
Yeah, Daredevil Yellow, longtime collaborator with Jeff Loeb. He has passed away, and he passed away at the age of 66 from kidney failure. So yeah, that is totally terrible news. I mean, we have lost the immortal George Perez, the legendary Neil Adams, and to add to that list is never a good thing. And to add Tim Sale, of all people, to that list is not good. Tim Sale is a great artist. I loved everything that he's done. I've got some of his early work here when he was doing Legends of the Dark Knight. And it's very different than what he did on The Long Halloween and Spider-Man Blue and things like that. But you could tell where he was getting to and things like that. The man's work is iconic. It's easily recognizable. And it is unfortunate that we will not have him to pencil any more comic book work from here forward. To the family of Tim Sale, our condolences and our thoughts and our prayers go out to you. And we hope that you guys can make it through this tough time.
Yeah, like I said, the comic world has lost, like I said, another legend this year alone, and Tim Sale, yes. So it's a huge loss. Like I said, so many great comic books under his belt. Like I said, I always think of as Batman's Long Halloween, but like I said, he has so much more than just that story.
If anybody watching this has never read Spider-Man Blue, go read that. I think that is some of Tim Sale's best Marvel work. I think it is on par with what he did for the Long Halloween, but for Spider-Man. Absolutely phenomenal work. Him and Jeff Loeb doing that together. They were the team and they did a great job. And Spider-Man Blue is one of those.
Yeah. Like Tim, his work, Tim Sale's work will live on forever. Those
Absolutely.
are legendary comics. So may he rest in peace.
Definitely.
And before, since we did mention the tragic attack that did happen in Highland Park, some people, I am from Illinois, and I believe Kristen is also in Illinois too. And thank you, Kristen, for sending out the message, making sure that I was okay and we're good. And senseless, like I said, a cowardice attack, and it does just make you think that to try to enjoy every day, because you never know what could happen. I mean, it was 4th of July, and suddenly there's a horrible massacre.
Yeah.
And so as we always say, everybody stay safe, and tell those that you love them, and treat each other with kindness and respect. The world needs more peace and love.
Absolutely. Less violence, more of that, more peace and love. We don't need to hurt each other. We need to talk to each other. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
But you know what else we need to do, Sonny?
Talk about a trailer?
Yes.
So there we go. Now we get into the trailer of Harley Quinn. The trailer was released for Harley Quinn season 3. This one I really wanted Jamie to take on because he watches the show. But since Jamie's not here, we said, okay, we'll talk about it. And I watched it, and I really thought the trailer I thought it was very good. And I'm like, this looks like a really good show. It makes me want to go to the beginning and start it because I haven't started it yet.
You have to. We're going to stop the podcast right now. And when you come back after watching seasons 1 and 2 of Harley Quinn, we can continue. Oh.
Do you know are they an hour or are they like around half hour?
They're about a half-hour episode.
Okay. At least that's good. Quicker to get to. Quicker to get through.
They're not long. You'll get a favorite character very quickly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, to checking it out. And season 3 does start July 28th. So maybe I'll get caught up by then. Yeah. They got a little bit of time.
It won't take you long.
Think?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I am all about Harley Quinn season 3. I have watched most of season 1, almost all of season 2, or parts of season 2, but watching season 3 trailer, I was cracking up. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Yeah. Do you want me to go on? No, I'm over it now. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it is as vulgar as you would think it is. And killer sharks in there. Clayface, James Gunn even makes an appearance. And no, right there. It looks good. If it's anything like what I've watched already, it's going to be a no-brainer. It's going to be a hit.
So we are looking forward to that. And then when Jamie's back, I look forward to hearing what he has to say about it.
Yeah,
he's already been a fan. He's been telling us to watch it for a long time, and we will get to it. I will get on it, and Tim will get caught up.
That's right.
Season 3, July 28th.
Yep, absolutely.
And then we move on. We move on to a movie that's going to come out that it still does not have a release date yet, but they're casting more people, more actors and actresses are being cast for it, and that is the Madam Webb movie, and that has cast Emma Roberts. So people may know Emma Roberts as being I'm an American Horror Story fan. She's one of the actresses who has been on season 3, 4. She's been on many seasons. She is the daughter of Eric Roberts, and now she's in the cast of Madam Webb. They said Sydney Sweeney from Euphoria is also going to be on there. Still, the plot and a lot of things from Madam Webb, it's still up in the air. There's a lot of questions about how this movie's going to be. What's it going to be about? Yeah, Tim, what do you think about Madam Webb? Is it at the top of your list of movies you want to see?
No, it is closer to the bottom, and only because I'm seeing if they've shown what part Emma Roberts is going to play, and I don't think that they have. I don't think they've revealed much beyond that. No, Sony's track record with Marvel themed properties is not that good. They hit home runs with Spider-Man 1 and 2, Tobey Maguire's, and they bit the dirt with Spider-Man 3, with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man 1 and 2. They did not hit the ground running and they kind of recouped on the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but because it didn't perform as well as they wanted to, they cut everything. And now they've got Venom, which is fair. I have my own opinions about that. I don't think it's as great a movie as everybody makes it out to be. And Let There Be Carnage is an abysmal disaster. And then you have the stuff that's going on for Kraven the Hunter, where they are taking severe creative control of how they want him to be, and it is next to nothing like what we know of him in the comic books. So there's that. And with what they're doing with Madam Web, taking her from an old lady to a young woman, that doesn't bother me, but I have no faith that they'll do this any justice. I mean, with Morbius, Sony was tricked into putting the movie back in the theaters.
Back in the theater. I like the thing when it's like, hey, put it in there a third time. We were busy that weekend.
Yeah, we were busy that weekend. If you put it back into theaters again, we'll go see it. We promise. Yeah, so aside from Venom 3, I don't think that Kraven or Madam Web or any of that is going to do any bit of good. I won't go see it in theaters. I have no desire to. I'll wait till it comes out on digital and rent it before I buy it, unless I hear good things from friends that I trust that say, no, Madam Web's all right. See it. Yeah, you got to go see this movie
by yourself and with your kids.
Absolutely done. All right. So yeah, no, it is on next to the bottom of the list. Like, I want to watch this as much as I want to watch Paw Patrol the movie. So,
which you gave that a 9.3 out of 10, right?
That is not a part of this conversation at the moment. My grade for Paw Patrol, notwithstanding Madam Web, no.
Yeah. Well, at least the Paw Patrol movie will probably be shorter, so you won't have to sit there too much.
That's true. And the Paw Patrol movie stood closer to source material than anything else.
Yes. I'm sure it does, yeah. And yeah, with Madam Web, I think they're really going to try to go something like completely different, because how much could you do a whole movie about Madam Web? And like you said, she's younger, played by Dakota Johnson. Yeah, so it's very up in the air. And then like, with the track record of Sony, it's not looking very good for Madam Web. It'd be nice if there was like a nice surprise.
I mean, the actresses that they have coming into the movie are great actresses. The things that they've been in previous to the eventual disaster that Madam Web is going to be have been good. They've been in good things. They've done good things in their career. I think they need to rethink what they're doing, and they need to renegotiate a contract. If this movie fails, I still get paid.
Yeah, maybe they're watching the podcast and like, you know what? I'm gonna pay attention. These guys on this podcast,
they know what they're talking about.
51 episodes. Yeah.
They've got to know something.
They even have stickers.
Yeah, they got stickers. They have to be legit. Well, ma'am, we are. So,
yes. But speaking of things that are legit, Tim, you have some gossip for us. So, what's in the rumor mill this week, Tim?
So, my ear has been to the proverbial door of the entertainment industry, specifically the closet that is comic books. And the rumor mill going around right now. Now, with this particular one, don't put a lot of weight into this. I think this is a lot of hearsay and positive thinking. But the big rumor right now is that Andrew Garfield is on the verge of signing a multi-picture deal with the MCU proper. It's reported that he's signed on for this, and this is what this article goes in to say. It says, and this is from InsideTheMagic.net, and it goes.
Giant freaking robot.
I was going to choose them, but I was like, I better go with a different source this time.
What are they called? Inside the what?
InsideTheMagic.net. And it says the timing of this news could potentially say a lot about in what capacity Andrew Garfield returns to Marvel. Now, when this article was written, which was back in June, the week prior to the article being written, it says that Kevin Feige all but confirmed what most Marvel comic fans knew already, that the next big event in Marvel Comics universe, the cinematic universe, will be based on the mega crossover Secret Wars. Now, assuming the theatrical event is anything like the source material, it will require more alternate universe versions of established Marvel characters than ever. Now, going off of that, that is absolutely correct. And that means they could pull in actors from outside of the MCU proper, like they did with No Way Home, and like they've been leading into and shown in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and things like that. So on that train of thought, highly probable. Andrew Garfield has said on numerous occasions that he would love to come back and continue the adventures of his version of Peter Parker. And it's pretty obvious that the fans want him to come back too. And they want Tobey Maguire to come back in some capacity. No Way Home being the astronomical hit that it was, and the crowd reaction when I was in the theater to seeing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and then seeing all the Spider-Men together on screen was mind-blowing. So in that aspect of that rumor, it's probable, but I don't think a whole lot of weight can be put in that. And if Andrew Garfield says anything from this point forward, nobody can believe a word that comes out of his mouth, because no, I'm not a part of that. And what he say after the press for No Way Home? He's like, nobody will believe anything I say ever again. No, Mr. Garfield, we will not, because you are a liar. But
it should be awesome if it was to be made, we're still thinking, but it'd be awesome.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. Andrew Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire is my favorite Peter Parker so far. And Tom Holland, I just like all around. Yeah, I'd be excited for it.
Yeah. And then especially, like I said, Secret Wars, if they're bringing other characters, we might even get one of Jamie's favorites. We might even get Jared Leto Morbius in there.
That would be wonderful. That would make it a multi-billion-dollar seller on opening weekend.
And Tyrese Gibson with a lollipop, and he's coming up.
Has to be done. Martin Scorsese said I was supposed to be in this movie. Here I am. Oh, hello.
Sure to take him out.
Yeah, right. But there is some other news on the DC side of things, and with this bit of news, this I would hold more weight on, because this seems more plausible than the Andrew Garfield, where Andrew Garfield rumors are wishful thinking at this point. This here, with Henry Cavill being rumored to have negotiated with Warner Brothers for a potential Superman return, along with increased wages and more creative control as part of his demands, I think that this has a higher probability of being true. So this is from fandomwire.com, and this is by Shri Parnadas. And they go on to say that according to a fresh rumor, Henry Cavill is still striving to be in a new Superman film, and it's said the talk is more serious than ever. Now, what people need to remember is, with all the major changes that have taken place at Warner Brothers / Discovery right now, with heads being changed and all that stuff, the current CEO of WB Discovery has made it a point to say that Superman was not utilized properly and not used enough. So with that being said, with Black Adam, the movie that's coming out with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he is in full support of Henry Cavill when it comes to keeping him on the mantle of Superman. But that may reach a pretty high price tag. And the source for this article goes on to say there's an extra money issue to surmount, wherein the actor's asking for a bigger salary. So basically what Henry Cavill is doing is in talks now, renegotiating contract to get higher payout, which he more than deserves. Henry Cavill is, I think, the best Superman since Christopher Reeves. And he is adored by fans, at least everybody that I've talked to. And he's the Superman that we need at this moment. Now, not only is he talking a higher payout, but he is talking more creative control for the direction of Superman, like which was given to Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot for Wonder Woman and Batman, respectively, and Jason Momoa for Aquaman, if I am not mistaken. And the same with Dwayne Johnson with Black Adam. But
let's hope Ezra Miller doesn't get any
he
of
didn't
those
get
rights
nothing.
for Flash.
So basically what Cavill's looking for is he's looking for an 8-figure salary for a solo Superman movie. Things are still up in the air, and according to Warner Brothers, that is a big stretch because they want to continue to use him as a supporting character, but Superman is not a supporting character. He is a primary character. Negotiations between Henry Cavill and WBD are muscular. A significant salary increase. He would also like to have a right of inspection and approval on the work of the director and the scenario for the film, as well as a place within the production of a Superman film. So, yeah.
I hope it works out.
I don't think he'll get everything. Like first
Maybe
look,
something I can get more money.
Yeah, and right of approval, I can see that because with an actor like him, I think he's earned that type of position. Not necessarily to say I don't want this director because I don't like him. I want this director because I like him better. No, but to be able to determine or to help determine who's the best fit to make the type of Superman movie that needs to be made. I don't think he'll get everything, but I think a large portion of what he's asking for is not unreasonable.
Yeah, I think, or maybe they may just have to replace Henry Cavill with Nicolas Cage and have Tim Burton direct.
Done. Superman returns back again. Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah, but I really do like Henry Cavill as Superman. I do hope things do work out because, like I said, I think he's one of the best Supermans there's been, and like this is this generation. A lot of people know him as Superman. Now, let's say we can compare him, right? But I think he's a great Superman, and I hope it really works out. And I'm really excited to see another Superman movie. Not where, like I said, not as another character, supporting character. It's Superman. He is Superman. Come on.
Exactly. I mean, when Man of Steel came out, the reboot of the DC cinematic universe, the Snyderverse, as people call it, the movie, all its faults aside, was a great movie, and it was a really awesome mod. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
I was surprised with all the bad reviews because I'm like, I really enjoyed it. I love it. I have it. Yeah, I enjoy it every time I watch it.
And Batman vs Superman was good too. All its faults aside, it was still a great movie.
Yeah, I felt it was a little slow in the beginning, but then once it picked up,
Martha. Martha? Why'd you say that name?
Yeah.
Because it's
Martha too? Okay,
it's my mother's name.
Maybe I'll remember that. If I'm in a fight and I'm losing, maybe I'll ask.
Just say Martha.
What's your mom's name? But they might get more mad at me if I say that.
Why? Why do you need to know my mother's name? Because it's the same as my mother's name. I just need to know if it's the same. If you just tell me. But you know other crossovers that are going on right now, Sonny?
Oh, I know about an Ultra crossover. It's going to go on, and that is with Ultraman is having a crossover with Marvel, and that will be next year in 2023. And that one is, we saw a picture of it. Normally this was something that Gamey was going to take more of a lead on, but from what I remember, from what I've gone over, that it will be in 2023. Ultraman will have a crossover with Marvel, and we see in the picture that we also see Spider-Man in there, see Captain Marvel, we see Iron Man. So the series is set to come out next year. They didn't give it a specific date yet, but it looks pretty good. I'm not too familiar with Ultraman. I know who the character is, but not of all his background, history, and everything, his villains. But the picture showed quite a bit.
Did they talk about who was going to do the artwork and all that stuff?
Not recall. We can check.
I'll go to Jamie's favorite website, Bleeding Cool.
You can check Super Duper Quick.
Ultraman comic book writer Matt Groom, that there's going to be an Ultraman Marvel crossover. It looks like, it looks like he's going to be the one writing it. Right on.
Yes.
I loved Ultraman as a kid. I used to watch the English dub Japanese shows for him and movies that he was in. Ultraman versus Godzilla. That was amazing. I loved that stuff as a kid. Loved it. Ultraman was awesome. Daryl Banks, artist for Green Lantern,
That's what I was thinking
loves
of.
Ultraman. Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, Daryl Banks should take the lead on this one.
Dude, he should have been the only person they called to be like, hey, you wanna do the artwork on this? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Absolutely. Ultraman and kaijus and Marvel superheroes. Yeah, it'll be a good time.
Yeah, it does look like the Marvel heroes. It looks like they're going into that world, and that they're in the picture. You see they're fighting kaiju. You said it's pronounced kaiju.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Action packed. They didn't show how many. They didn't say how many issues it would be. Just that it is a mini series. So
on the cover,
pretty
I
cool.
see 3 different versions of Ultraman, and then for Marvel characters, I see Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Captain Marvel. Is that right?
Yep, that's what I see too. So I'm sure we'll have more up to date. We'll have more news on that as the time gets closer. Like I said, it won't come out till 2023. Not sure if it'll be the beginning, middle, end, but that will be quite an interesting crossover.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So we'll talk about Ultraman another time. But now let's get on to Wonder Man. And that is right, Simon Williams. Wonder Man is getting his own series with Marvel and Disney Plus. No set date yet, but first, like I said, Miss Marvel just ended. We have She-Hulk Attorney at Law, which will just start August 17th.
Not too far away.
Yeah, so that is pretty close. And then they said that Wonder Man, it's looking like it's going to be next year. Okay. But so far, there's still a lot up in the air about it. But it is said that Destin Daniel Cretton, who co-wrote Shang-Chi, will be one of the writers on this. He'll be producing as well. And Andrew Guest, who was one of the producers, was one of the producers and writers, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, of the Hawkeye series. And he will be the executive producer and the head writer of the Wonder Man series.
They already got a good team started.
Yeah, so that's good. And then in the article, I said there's still a lot up in the air if you don't really know too much about Wonder Man. When is he going to be? When is he going to come in there?
The only thing I wonder is when they will provide the offer to Nathan Fillion to take the role.
It's been talked about. Yeah, will Nathan Fillion play him? Because there was the deleted scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 where he played Wonder Man, but it's like that's a deleted scene.
Yeah, and it was all in the. They did a bunch of movie posters for Guardians 2 also. Yeah,
so we will see that. And then also Nathan Fillion provided the voice for Wonder Man in the MODOK series. So right now, I guess it's looking like they said that people want him, but nothing is set in stone of who will play Wonder Man.
It doesn't have to be, but I would love it to be Nathan Fillion. Everybody's wanting him, and Feige, you did the fans justice with Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. You gave us what we wanted for 5 minutes. Now do it for 9 episodes.
yes, 4 episodes.
Yeah. Oh Lord, I hope it's Nathan Fillion. If it's not, I'll still watch it. Wonder Man's a great D-list character, and if Marvel's shown anything, they can take those characters that are really low on the totem pole and push them up to a higher elevability, and it'll be awesome.
You'd say D? I'd say he's at least C, but maybe it's just because I'm a fan.
After the show, a C minus, high D plus.
But after the show, he's definitely gonna rise up.
Oh yeah, because we're talking about him. He's a B minus right now.
Yeah, and at least it's not like Sony's taking over. So this won't be one of those shows. This would be a Disney Plus show. So I think
thank the Jack Kirby's and Stan Lees for that.
Yes. So we will have more up to date on the Wonder Man series when it comes out, when it's going to come out, when there's trailers, things like that, on upcoming episodes of this show called the CodeX Podcast.
That's right.
And that will conclude our comic news for the week. Well, actually, for a couple of weeks since we haven't done comic news for a while. And now we got into our works. CodeX has been up to a lot. as you can see, I've got some CodeX merch on there, right there. So we have our website, where you can buy all CodeX merch, hoodies, logos, shirts, and in time we'll have more things on the site as well. We
Oh
also do
yeah.
have women's clothing. We have a lot more stuff coming up, a lot more ideas that we just got to make happen, and we'll provide links and all that stuff.
As a
So,
matter of fact, the link for the merch site, if you're on Twitch right now, it is in the chat. So you can go click on that and get your sweet Codex swag. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, it will be in the description.
that's right. And with all that stuff, getting these, I'm like, yeah. I was mentioning to you before, maybe I'll do a commercial. And as soon as I saw the stuff, I'm like, yes, I will have a commercial. I will make a commercial for the CodeX merch. It's going to deserve it. So I'm going to have to make a nice commercial for
I
it.
can't wait to see that.
We'll make it worth the wait. And too, yeah, earlier today, I've been up to some mail calls. I was having a lot of fun with those. So I've been enjoying my mail calls. Like I said, I was like, guys, make sure to get your CodeX stuff so you can have a code excellent mail call yourself.
That's right. I don't even want to watch She-Hulk anymore. All I want to see is the Codex commercial.
So maybe I hope to get it out there before the show so you can watch it and then say, okay, next week after I've watched the same commercial 100 times, now I can check out the She-Hulk show.
That's right. There you go.
And what about you, Tim, from your side? Any more Codex news? Always new things, and we've got some reviews coming up.
Yeah, so Kristen is hard at work on a handful of reviews. Those should be coming out pretty soon. One of those is what is the title? I Hate Fairyland or I Heart Fairyland? One of the two. The
Hate or Heart, pretty close.
Yeah, you guys know the Scotty Young series that he did. I Heart Fairyland, I believe, or I Hate Fairyland. One of the two. I know I'm gonna get chastised for that in the comment section, so go for it. But yeah, she's working on that. She's working on the Rogan Gambit mini series and a couple of other things too. Yeah, so fear not, more reviews from her will be coming out. Tone's got some things in the fire that he is working on, specifically a new segment called Comics 101. That is in the works currently and will be coming to you as soon as it's ready, as soon as the oven goes off and Tone says this is done. There you go. And then Jamie gets to work doing his magic to make it look as beautiful as you, Sonny. On top of that, we have the Codex trailer on the YouTube page. Guys, if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's 34 seconds. And in 34 seconds, a great rundown is given to you by Tone Super, the Sci-Fi Swordsman, on exactly what we all do here at the Codex Station. So if anybody hasn't heard of us, is on the fence about us, or anything like that, just show them 34 seconds of awesomeness and then tell them where to subscribe. Yeah, on top of that, decoding panels. I know we missed this week, but for good reason. The Phoenix Saga Part 1 is on its way out to you soon. After that, we will have Dark Knights of Steel #7, the newest issue for that series, on decoding panels. And then after that, it'll be the conclusion of the Phoenix Saga, known as the Dark Phoenix Saga. And then we got even more coolness coming your way, so stick around for that. Plus, as always, guys, on Saturdays, Sonny takes a break, puts a face mask on, and rests and relaxes and watches me, Jamie, and Tone go to town on some pulls and comic shop talk on Codex After Dark. That is Saturdays at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. That is in the evening, so join us for that. And as always,
every now and then I would jump into conversations too.
Yeah,
I need to mention it.
You make one comment and then you're gone. We don't see anymore.
Yeah, so I was me and my fiance were getting ready for this Colorado trip. We're gonna do the incline. It's over 2,000 steps, I believe. So we're training for it. We're doing the stairs, and on the way back, we were driving the car. Well, not back from there, just from practicing the stairs. I said, okay, Codex is on. So I was watching in the car, and I see you have a background. I see Tim has a background of young blood. So I had to comment on it. And then as you were commenting, wherever we drove, we lost connection. So I'm like, I didn't get to see Tim's reply.
Well, the reason for that background is we were talking we were doing a breaking the code, and we were talking 5 iconic comic covers, and the Youngblood #1 cover did not make my list, was not anywhere near my top 5, but it is an iconic cover for reasons, not because it's good. Yeah, so it was in the background. Yeah.
Out of all times, that's when I haven't kicked. I'm like, I need a comment.
But yeah, lots of other cool things coming your way, guys. We are all always here, hard at work for you, the fan, the viewer, the casual watcher, and everything we do is for you guys. And like I have said a million times before, you know exactly where to find us. All you got to do is type in the CodeX station, and that is where we are. So if you're not following here on Twitch, or if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please go ahead and do that. It would make my mother very proud. So yeah, go ahead and hit that subscribe.
Good. Well, Tim, we got a lot coming on. We got a lot coming for you on the way. So, you know, it's something else I had coming on the way, and that is On the Hunt. I have not talked about On the Hunt for a while, but I've been on the hunt, you know, for comics, as most of us are. You know, if you're on the show, you're watching the show. Many of us tend to be comic book fans. And one book I was on the hunt for, right over here.
What do you got?
I got it. And it is A Certain Jungle Adventure. And you know, Wolverine is one of my favorites. And when I was at a comic shop called Graham Crackers in Joliet, Illinois, I tell you what, I was looking around and I happened to find it.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. I've been wanting it. I've been looking for it and found it for $4.50. So
Nice.
yeah. And I happened to be with my aunt. And she's like, I'll pay for it. So thank you. It's my
That
Aunt
looks
Monique.
like a Mike Magnolia artwork on the cover. Is that right?
That is right there.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, you're in for a visual treat with that.
I did. I started reading it like as soon as I got back. I started reading it. I did finish. I read the whole thing. It's a great read. I really enjoyed it. So
is it a one shot? Is it a standalone?
Yep, one shot standalone.
Perfect.
Wolverine story about almost 50 pages, something like that.
Nice, very good.
Yeah. And then in the 75-cent bin, I mean, I wasn't really on the hunt for this, but I said, let me look for something. And then I saw something that really made me think of you, Tim. And I'm like, oh, I may have to get at least one of these. And it's Youngblood. This is Youngblood #0.
Oh my God.
And I noticed all these Youngbloods were like in perfect condition too in the 75-cent
I
bin.
wonder why.
Untouched. I was like, this is almost too funny that you have all these counts, you tell they're a bit worn, and all the Youngblood ones are in perfect condition. But I said, I guess I get 0. They didn't have one.
That will give you no information about the cliffhangers we were left with Youngblood #1.
Yeah.
At all.
There you go.
Oh, look at that wraparound cover. Liefeld's good at covers. I'll give him that. He's great when someone else puts color on top of his work and helps him with the inks and all that stuff. Yeah.
And all the feet are missing. I do notice that. Yeah.
Of course they are.
Yeah. All those are missing. But yes, I was on the hunt for Wolverine: The Jungle Adventure, and I completed my hunt.
And you found a cherry to top that cake.
Yes. A 75-cent cherry that's almost about 30 years old and was pretty much untouched.
Oh my Lord.
Tim, is there anything you were on the hunt for right now?
Well, I did nothing specific. Like, I'm always working on Uncanny XMen, and as of right now, I have paid for, but they haven't been sent to me yet, but they will soon, from my buddy Jason. I have paid for 2 issues plus another 3 that I need total. Issue number 200, which will fill in a small gap, but these other 282 and 283, the first full appearance of Bishop, first and second appearance of Bishop, that'll fill in a big gap, and then that will mean that I'll have an unbroken run, I believe, from 276 to 544, the last issue in volume 1. I'll have a complete unbroken run, all A covers, direct or newsstand, no variants are mixed in there or anything like that. Maybe 1 or 2, but I have the the official covers, the main covers. But yeah, that'll be an unbroken run from, I believe, 276 all the way to the last issue in volume 1.
Oh, nice. So, but you did say like the ones like the 200, they're on their way.
Yeah, issue number 200, I'll be getting that in that small group of books too. And I've got a lot of other, like, I think the furthest back I go is 144. I believe that's the farthest back that I have for an X-Men issue, and it's hit and miss in between there. There's some large gaps of collection, and then there's some large gaps of missing books and things like that. But my goal is right now is to fill in all of those gaps to the earliest issue that I have, and then just start working my way back. I'll be skipping the issues that cost more than my rent until later, but if I can get things within a reasonable price, I'll have them. And I want to get eventually all the way down to issue 1. I do own a copy of issue 1, but it is the milestone edition. It is not an original. So
yeah, that'll be very hard to get your hands on.
Yeah, but for the right price, and if I can save up 10 years worth of salary, I can do it.
Only a few thousand. Only
if, yeah, tens of thousands. Absolutely. For a displayable copy.
Yes. I need to start getting my stuff out there. I need to start being a known, and I need to start charging more for my acting abilities. And be like, I'm like Henry Cavill now. I need more.
I've got a comic book to get, Mr. Director, sir, and you're going to help me do that.
Exactly.
What else am I working on? Batman or Superman Batman, the one that Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness started, that has the return of Supergirl. I'm working on that. I've got like 3/4 of that whole run. Spider-Man, the last volume 6, I believe, I think, or volume 5, whatever was the last one before the John Romita Jr. artwork one that is current now. I've got all but 20 of those issues, so I'm always looking for those. Oh, and Justice League from New 52. Those are all the big ones that I'm working on right now.
Nice. Well, good luck to you, man.
Yep.
Just
right
update
on.
every now and then. We do an on the hunt. So
yep, let you know where we're at.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tim, this is a good time for us to move on to our topic of the week.
Yes.
And this one applies to all of us, and it is, why do you collect comics? And Jamie's not here today, so Tim has his top 3 picks.
I do. So yeah, absolutely, guys. As always, the top 3 picks for our topic of the week come from the Facebook group Comic Character of the Day. Everybody at the CodeX station is in that group. We all interact with everybody there, and if you're not a part of that, you need to be, because it's a good community. Real laid back, real chill. No big arguments or anything like that, if any, that I've seen. Everybody's got a voice and an opinion, and everybody is real respectful of that. So if that's a place that you feel like you want to be a part of, go ahead and jump into that. But with that,
good fun comic talk.
Yeah, absolutely. So without further ado, we are going to go into the top 3 picks. And the first one is Christopher Rice, and he says, I loved cartoons, comics, and art since I was a lad. For me, the poor son of a single mom, comics were one source of entertainment I could afford to get regularly. This exposure really made me fall in love, and I've been reading and drawing ever since. So that is from Christopher Rice. Next is Dixie Cam. He says that Archduke Kevin Berkeley, one of the admins for and the creator of Comic Character of the Day, he says that Kevin's mom bought them for him to read, to encourage Kevin to read, and he's been hooked ever since. And then finally we go to let's see here, Adam Rag. Not sure I do anymore or not. They still interest me, no doubt. Silver Age comics especially, but I think I may be keeping them around for my daughter to maybe see and get into and investment, as I've got some key issues. So as always, those 3 comments are from Comic Character of the Day. Great comments there from you guys. But let's go into why we do that, Sonny.
Okay. Normally it was going to be gonna mix up. So actually, do you mind if I go first?
No, go ahead, by all
Since,
means.
since you were since I hit it, because normally we have Jamie do it. Then I was gonna have you talk, but
Yeah.
you did it today. Real quick, one more. I was like, I need to every now and then maybe I bring up an honorable mention, and this was from Tony Schmidt, and it said, "At this point, to waste money and irritate my wife."
Yes.
I love that answer. I thought that was a great one. I going to mention that.
Well,
But for
why do
me,
you collect comics, Sonny?
easy because I want to, because I love it. But yes, longer than that, yeah, because I love it. And, nothing gets a woman more excited than a huge comic collection. So it's like, and then that's when the chicks just started throwing themselves. That's not what happened or anything. I just, love comic books. I enjoyed them as a kid. Loved them. My father would get me and my brother some, and then, eventually I didn't collect as many, but I still kept those from a kid. And then eventually I started getting more into superhero stuff. I remember after watching Smallville, or when I started watching Smallville, I was like, you know what? I haven't read comics in a while. Maybe I should get a few, see if I can get back into it. And I did. And I get more and more obsessed with comics now as an adult than I did ever as a kid, as a teenager. It's an addiction. It's a fun addiction for me. It makes me happy. I love getting comics. I love reading them. They entertain me. So I'm like, why not? Why should I do something else? Why should I spend my money on something I don't care for? This is what I like. It's not like I'm hurting anybody. I'm
Yep.
just enjoying comics. And, as I like to say, I get a lot of deals.
You are supporting
Make me
literature.
happy. Yes. I'm a writer, so I'm supporting literature and I enjoy reading comic books. It's fun. Plus, I have this podcast where we review comics. So it's probably good for me to,
Yeah, that's true.
probably good. Yeah. Yep. It's in my heart. I love it. Tim, why do you collect comics?
So I think it's pretty much the same as yours. I love this hobby. I love reading the stories. I love learning about my favorite characters. I love diving into old issues, especially. It brings back a lot of warm memories for me, a lot of nostalgia. And I love the fact that even though there have been times when I've gotten so mad at this industry that I have quit buying books for years, I
One more day?
Yes. I still come back and I still buy books and I still find new things that I like and get mad at myself for missing things when I quit. The first books I ever got was a brown paper sack full of, I think, 6 or 7 books that my mom got for me when she went out yard sailing with my grandmother one day. And she said, "Here, I got you some comic books." Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know nothing about any of them. And I sat there and read books with the Phantom, the Spectre, X-Men, a character named Chrome from a company called Hot Comics, and Spider-Man, and so much more. And I was hooked. I was getting comic books, doing chores and begging my folks to buy me books and things like that. And then when they finally gave me my own money, you know that day when your parents are like, here's $2, get away from me. I was gone. There was this shop in a town I used to live in. It was called Jones Ice Cream. And it was this old soda fountain ice cream shop from the 50s that was still running. And they had a spinner rack of comic books. And every time we would go in there and get ice cream, my stepdad or my mom would buy me a book. Well, that's when they gave me the $2, go away. I bought 2. I bought a Fantastic Four issue and Amazing Spider-Man number 351. And I haven't looked back. So
Ice cream and comics is pretty much like the best combination.
yeah.
But if you want to make me happy, ice cream and comics.
Dude, it was awesome. I was reading comics during the biggest events of the 90s: Infinity War, Death of Superman, Nightfall, the Clone Saga, all that stuff. I was in the middle of all of it. So, and there's the thunder.
Yeah. Tim's got a storm by him.
Yeah.
Tim, see how well, do you remember how well I remember you? That X-Men you first got was X-Men Annual 11?
That is correct. And if you haven't read that, you need to.
It is on my to read list. I need to read. Normally, even before we met, I was interested in it. Well, another X-Men comic like refer back to it, and then at the bottom it's like, oh, see that event, check out this. So it's been on the list, and then you have mentioned it's very important to you. So
Uncanny
definitely on my
X-Men
list.
annual, yeah, X-Men Uncanny annual number 11 was in that brown paper bag of comic books. It's a standalone annual. So yeah, read it, guys. Some of my friends don't like it very much. I love it. But yeah, you guys need to check it out.
Who knows? Maybe one day we'll even review it. Who knows?
One day.
Yeah, everyone, thank you again for commenting. Like I said, we'll have another topic of the week posted and comic characters of the day soon. Feel free to comment, and maybe we'll mention your comment here on the show.
Absolutely.
Thank you all again. And now we got to Why Do You Collect Comics? And we move on to Do You Know?
Do
And,
I? Yes, yeah. I do.
But Tim, do you know who goes first today?
I do, because I asked you before we went on air, and that would be me, good sir.
That is right. All right, Tim. Ask me some questions that hopefully I know or at least can guess right.
I don't know. I was trying real hard to throw you through a loop today, and I think the last question I have will do it. So, my Do You Knows today, as always, they always have a theme. And today's theme is this guy behind me, Deadpool. But his name is not going to be anywhere in these questions. It's all based on things that relate to him in one way or another.
I was going to say his name is Wade Wilson.
That is incorrect, sir. His name is Wilson Wade. All right. So question number 1, Weasel. We know who Weasel is, right? He is Deadpool's best friend, or Weasel is, the other way around. Yeah, exactly. Do you know what Weasel's first appearance was in comic books?
Let me see. X-Force 1.
No, close. It is Cable number 3, and it came out in July of 1993.
Okay.
So there you go. No points for Sonny.
Okay, Tim. Well, we were talking about Wonder Man. Do you know what year Wonder Man made his first appearance?
Geez. 1966.
So close.
God.
2 years off. 1964.
Of course, 1964. What a year for Wonder Man to debut.
maybe you were reading that Ultraman article, because it said Ultraman debut 1966.
Yes, exactly. Ultraman and Wonder Man, both super awesome and fantastic names, but confusion. Yes, absolutely.
Yep, both in the 60s. All right, so Tim, we're both at the goose eggs, 0.
Okay, so question number 2. We are moving as fast as the storyline for the Circle Chase right now. Garrison Kane, otherwise known as Weapon X, otherwise known as Kane, is in the story The Circle Chase. Do you know what Garrison Kane's first appearance is?
X-Force 2.
Yes, that is correct. X-Force number 2. And for a no prize, do you know whose second appearance that was?
In X-Force 2?
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool.
That is also correct. You get no points for that. Yes, it was Deadpool's second appearance. Garrison Kane's first.
Should be 2, but
all right, Sonny, you're on the board with 1. Go for it.
Okay, well, I have 1, so you have 0. So let's talk about Zero, who was in Deadpool Circle Chase. What was the first team in comics that Zero was a part of?
The MLF, Mutant Liberation Force.
Oh, my geez. Did I give it the point? Should I? I'll say, okay, so you go. What's that last word again?
Mutant Liberation Front.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, Zero was a part of the Mutant Liberation Front. Okay, Tim. For no extra points, what was the first appearance? Do you know the first appearance of Zero?
Yeah, it was in the Circle Chase number 3.
Dang, I should use that as a question because that is incorrect. His first appearance is the first appearance again. Also, was Cable, which was New Mutants '86.
Oh, interesting. Okay, you
Yeah,
learn
but
something new every day.
Still 1-1. Really, it should be 2-1.
Your no prize counts for no points.
last round.
Okay, let's see if you get this one correct, Sonny. So, G.W. Bridge, who makes no appearance in the Circle Chase at all, but is part of Deadpool's history and has interacted with Deadpool before. G.W. Bridge, do you know who I'm talking about? Member of S.H.I.E.L.D., was prominent in the 90s, went out of sight for a while, came back. High-ranking officer of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all around stand-up dude. Used to have the white spiked do and wore the red and green. You've seen him before. Do you know what the GW stands for in GW Bridges' name?
Okay, I will say Garrison William.
You are incorrect, sir. It is George Washington.
Wow, George Washington.
GW Bridge, George Washington Bridge. What a creative name for a character. He's named after a bridge in New York City. So there you go. GW Bridge. GW stands for George Washington.
Hey, Tim, for the win.
I got it.
We were talking about this movie that's probably going to be amazing called Madam Web. Do you know who voiced Madam Web in Spider-Man the Animated Series in the 90s?
No, Carol Burnett.
No, this one actually found was pretty interesting to me. Madam Web was voiced by Joan Bukak Lee, the wife of Stan Lee.
No kidding.
Yes. Yep. And Joan Lee, she was a British American model in the 1940s and eventually became the wife of Stan Lee. And they were married from 1947 to 2017 when she passed away.
I was close.
So may the two of them, may Stan and Joan be a happy couple in heaven. And that brings us to a tie, one piece.
That's right. So close yet so far away. Hard questions this week, ladies and gentlemen. But don't worry, next week when Jamie comes back, because he'll have his mouth wired shut, Sonny and I will get all the answers correct.
I guess. Maybe Abraham Lincoln Bridge next time.
What's GW's son's name? Brooklyn.
Yes, I need to look at this character very quickly.
You'll know who it is when you see it.
Yeah. And then we'll get on to our review. Let me see this
right.
George Washington guy.
Yeah, GW Bridge. Yeah, he had a non-voice speaking appearance in an episode of X-Men the Animated Series. Prominent figure during the 90s, African-American, high-ranking member of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Now I know him.
Yeah, now you know who I'm talking about.
But yeah, like you said, yeah, I do know the character, yeah. I actually have this card.
I do too. I used to have his action figure.
Okay, I didn't have the figure, but yeah, I had that card.
Yeah, he has no superhuman abilities whatsoever, but because of his high rank in S.H.I.E.L.D., he has contacts all over the world and is tough as nails, and was even independently contracted to go after the Punisher.
Huh.
Yeah. He failed, of course, but
yeah. But now I will never forget, when I see him, I will never forget his name. George Washington Bridge.
That's correct.
All right. It's been a fun episode so far. We've gone through comic book news. We've talked about what we want to get, on the hunt for. Why do we collect comic books? We've talked about even a Paw Patrol movie. We've talked about George Washington Bridge. We've tied and Do You Know again. And now we get on to a review of Deadpool, The Circle Chase. And before we get onto it, I'd like to show you that today I said, let me go into my shed and go in the old toy box to pull out some old figures I have that appear in this comic, in this story arc. And
You
that
have
is
the old.
Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
That I've showed him before. And there we go. His mask comes off to show his pretty
Look
face.
at that.
And then this other big old guy. The toy's not so big, but it's Juggernaut. And look, he has the ability to dance.
That's the old Toy Biz first line of figures. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good stuff.
And now I'm ready to make everybody jealous. And that is that I have the figure of Comcast, and my figure has one arm.
Holy smokes, Deadpool got to him.
Yeah, exactly. Deadpool got to Comcast. Actually, I used to make my toys wrestlers, and it was in a wrestling match. He lost his arm.
That they even made a figure of him is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. What do you have, a strainer on top of your head with an antenna?
Yes. And I remember for years I had I don't know this guy's name. And then, when I said in my 20s, started get back into reading comics, and then I saw him. I'm like, okay, this guy's name is Confidence. There he
Not
is.
to be confused with the major cable news collection of channels conglomerate that owns Universal, that has poor customer service. Yeah. That character also has poor customer service because he's a villain.
Yes, he's not the best with people.
Right. Well, Sonny, if you don't mind, I'll go into the credits. All right, so credits for Deadpool, The Circle Chase, and I am going to mispronounce these names because I am horrible at pronouncing names. So if I get it wrong, don't beat on me too hard. Just tell me, Tim, you're wrong. The writing goes to Fabian Nicieza, I believe. Pencils go to the ever wonderful Joe Madeira. Inks go to Mark Farmer. Colors to Glynis Oliver, and letters to Chris Eliopoulos. So, storyline for The Circle Chase. This story takes place over 4 issues, and it goes running. So, Deadpool is in Sarajevo, in a country called Yugoslavia at the time. And during that time, there was a big giant war going on, and Deadpool is in the middle of doing what Deadpool does, and come to find out, Tolliver, who we will know from back in New Mutants 98, the person that hired him to go after Cable, has died, and he has left a will out called Tolliver's Will, and whoever gets it and figures it out gets the what did they say, the most dangerous weapon in the world, or the greatest weapon in the entire world. Yep. Yeah, and all kinds of other things. Well, Deadpool and Weasel are on the hunt for this, but on top of that are other characters that are on the hunt for that too, and that is Kane, otherwise known as Garrison Kane from Do You Know, Juggernaut and Black Tom Cassidy, who gets a facelift in this story. Vanessa Carlisle, I believe is her last name. Yep. She is known as Copycat in the comic books, and she posed as Domino in the New Mutants and X-Force for a time until she was discovered. And a bunch of other characters, one of which was only in it for a couple of scenes, but his name stuck out to me so bad that I had to write it down, and it is Sluggo.
That's the one, Copycat.
Yeah. He comes in, where's Vanessa? Have you seen her? No, I haven't seen her. I don't know where she's at. Is she in trouble? No, ma'am, she ain't in no trouble at all. Bye.
Yep. She manhandles him.
Yeah. So yeah, the chase is on for Tolliver's Will, and everybody is hunting for it. And a lot of people think that Vanessa has information because that's what she does. That's part of her powers, to store information and retrieve information from people. A lot of people think that Deadpool has some information because he worked with Tolliver, and so on and so forth. And contracts are put out against him, and Vanessa and Juggernaut and Black Tom Cassidy are in it for all of 2 issues, I think, because they want the will as well. And the scene that takes place with them and Deadpool on the airplane is amazing, and
yes,
and I love it. I don't want to go into a whole lot of the story, because like at first, the first issue makes jack sense. It makes zero sense. It gives you the basis of what the heck's going on. And you got to kind of catch it real quick as you're reading, because the pace of the first issue is just lightning quick, and it slows down a little bit through issues 2 and 3, and then in issue 4 it picks right back up again. So I'll just go into my thoughts a little bit. Now, the artwork here is absolutely gorgeous. This is how Deadpool was meant to be drawn. And Madira's work is easily recognizable and wonderful to look at. This is also the yeah, look at that. That is beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
This is also the series that I personally think really starts Deadpool becoming what we know of him today, right?
Yeah, Deadpool is a lead, yeah.
Yeah, well, not only that, but like his attitude and personality, instead of being the carbon cutout character and the blanket assassin that he was, he really starts to get some serious personality in this series, and it's awesome. Animated expressions and character work use the comic medium to its full advantage here, and Madira's artwork is perfect in that sense. The panels flow very wonderfully, very fluid, and it just looks awesome. This was meant to be in a comic book. It was meant to be done in comic book form, and it works really awesome visually here. So many characters, though. Like, there's so many of them, and with all those characters, you have a buttload of subplots. So not only is the main thing taking place, the circle chase for Tolliver's will, but you have the Vanessa subplot, the main bad guy, Slayback. You have him in the background trying to get to Deadpool in the first place. You have Juggernaut and Black Tom Cassidy, Kane in the middle of all of that, Sluggo for like 5 panels, and yeah, there goes my VPN again.
Yeah, I was gonna say lost you.
Yeah, but yeah, so many characters, but it's almost to the point of overwhelming, but it isn't. Like, it's right at the edge. I love the many different locations that the story takes place in. This is a truly worldwide story, and it barely takes place in New York, let alone the United States. Like, you go to India, you go to Egypt, you go Yugoslavia, you are all over the place in this book, and it's awesome. And like I said, the pace of the series just moves.
Oh yeah, right off the bat.
Yeah. So bottom line, it was an absolute blast to read. This is a book that is highly entertaining. And if somebody wants to read a comic book for a comic book, this is where I'll point them. Read Deadpool, The Circle Chase. You'll love it. It's absolutely fantastic. So for the grades, overall, I'll get to that in a second. Writing, it gets a solid 8 out of 10. It's not a reinvention of the comic book page or anything like that, but it's a great story. It's really well written by one of the co-creators of Deadpool. So yeah, Fabian's work here is perfect. It's top notch. I mean, it's not the best story ever written in any sense of the word, but a solid 8 out of 10. Great story. Artwork, on the other hand, I give that a high 10. It was wonderful to look at. No page, no panel, no line sketch did I ever look at and be like, man, that just doesn't look good. And in part because of that is because of inks and colors, Mark Farmer and Glynis Oliver. The colors on that book really popped, and the ink work on that too took Joe's pencils and really defined them. So this is where the entire creative team, and even the letters in there too, by Chris Elopoulos, wonderful. The whole team made this book what it was, and they did a wonderful job. So artwork gets a 10 out of 10 for an overall score of 9 out of 10.
Okay, very good.
Yep.
And you have Jamie's.
I do. So Jamie's score is lower than mine, but still pretty high. He gives this an overall score of 7.6 out of 10. And he gave me 3 reasons why it gets like that. One of those reasons was he said he did not care for the layouts too much. And that was the only negative point that he gave me. And I'm sure there's others, and we can ask him next week. But some of the positives that he said here was that it is the pinnacle of Deadpool for stories. And he also said what I just went over, and you and I both agreed on. Art and colors go very well together here. So yeah, Jamie scores a 7.6 out of 10.
Okay. Jamie says good. You say very good.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, Deadpool, the Circle Chase. Tim, you're going over it. Yeah, like there's a lot of highlights, a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Like the artwork is amazing, and then too, just super for me. It's super fun story. Like this is one that's just fun. Like you said, if you want to point somebody, hey, what's a fun comic? Deadpool: The Circle Chase. If you want to get to know Deadpool, I would point them towards this direction. Say, hey, this is pure Deadpool. This is the story. They had him as a lead, got him into being his personality, and two, sometimes even if you are a bit younger, like I'd say someone's like, hey, I don't want my kid to read something that's too adult. Even though he was still Deadpool, he was still funny. He wasn't it wasn't super mature. I think kind of everybody.
There was borderline stuff, but anybody that's reading comic books, if they've seen any Marvel movie, it's not any worse than that.
Yeah, and then too, like I said, I like all the characters. I said, seeing Juggernaut and Black Tom, and I love that airplane scene, like you said. Juggernaut. Do I stand out? Or people looking, and you say, hey, we do stand out a bit.
We'll get some of those airplane bottles, dude. When I fly, I just drink tomato juice. That's all I drink.
Yeah. So yeah, it's so fun, and too, like I said, right off the bat, it's not like it's slow. It just takes you in, and you're in the story. Even like you're trying to figure out a little bit, but it's just action. Yep. And then too, there's like I said, Deadpool is funny. Action is great. It moves along fast, and then for me, like I said, I was going through it. It's just pure fun. So we don't want to go through too much. It's pure fun. And I said, if there's anything that's missing, I said, maybe be a little bit of heart to the story. And then towards the ending, Deadpool, you see the ending. I don't want to give too much of away. I recommend definitely everybody checking it out. And then the ending really shows Deadpool's heart. And like, there it is. That's the one thing I was missing. And now we have it at the end. For me, it's one of my favorites. My favorite Deadpool series. It's one of my favorites. Something I love. So I'm going with a 10 out of 10 for Deadpool: The Circle Chase.
10 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen.
That is right. 10 out of 10. So Jamie, 7.6. Tim, you give it a 9.0, and I give it 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Another cool thing about this story is this story is the first real time we get a big deep dive into his origins.
Yes, yeah, we did see a bit of his back. When thanks to this guy, Comcast painted a thing on Deadpool's head, and you see a little, get out of my mind. Right. Deadpool and Vanessa / Copycat's past. Yeah. I thought it was interesting too to see Vanessa liked it. Let's say if you're used to the movies, she's a woman. She's a likable character, but in here, you see she's a whole different character in the comics. She has a dark past, like they've mentioned in the movie, but here they go more deep into it. And then also you see that she is, she's a mutant as well. Yep,
absolutely. Right on, Sonny. Those grades are good grades. All good. 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, and 7.6 out of 10. Awesome.
There you go. We put Deadpool: The Circle Chase behind us. And now, Tim, you have your pick for our next review.
I do. So I have got an awesome one for you. We're going to stick with the 4-issue format here, but we're going to go back to what some would say is part of what created the modern era of comics. I've talked about this before here on the podcast and over on Breaking the Code and After Dark as well. But next week, this week I'm picking, we'll review next week, I guess, is Batman Year One. Yeah. Awesome. Issues number 404 through 407.
Oh, I might just have to get that one.
Have you read it yet?
No. So I'm looking forward to it.
ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take 2 weeks off so Sonny can really dive into this 5 times before he is ready to review.
Nice. So it is on my to read list, on my wish list, and now I have the perfect excuse.
Yep,
I need to
Batman
read it
Year
now.
1, issues 404 through 407.
Looking forward to it. So with that, we wrap up episode 51 of Codex Podcast. Again, me from Sonny Kruger. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Everybody stay safe out there. As Jamie would say, be kind to each other. A smile, can make somebody's day, and you never know what anybody's going through. Jamie, I try to remember it word for word, but a lot to remember. But everybody, take care, and I will let Tim wrap up the show.
Right on, guys. And you know what I'm going to say. You can find us on all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, on our Discord server, on all podcast streaming platforms. All you got to do is type in the Codex Station, and that is where we will be. We are currently at 108 subscribers on YouTube. We are at 32 here on Twitch, and we need your help to get to 50 on Twitch and to continue our rise to 200 and beyond on YouTube. Guys, if you're on the fence about it, you just don't know, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, be a part of a great community, and watch this awesome content that we put out for you guys every week. We do it because we love it, and we do it because you enjoy it. So once again, find us anywhere at the Codex Station. That's all you got to type in. Once again, guys, my name is Tim. This guy on either side of me is the immortal Sonny Kruger, and down below is empty space. I'm just going through the motions at this point in time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Codex Podcast. We are the Codex Station, and we will see you next time.